Hey everyone, welcome to yet another Gloryfinder video here on the channel where we're going to be, well, showing off one of the Gloryfinder decks that comes in this 4-player bundle. This time we are down to 3. So this last time I could do this blind juggling thing without just saying, oh hey, there's this deck and there's that, so. Which one will we be going over today? I have no clue. You guys clicked on the thumbnail so you know. Let's do this one. Alright, so today we are going over... Yes! Oh, this is probably one I'm most hyped to talk about. The Abyss. I'm going to say Abyss. I mess up every time because I know the whole digital physical split is like 2 different classes, but freaking Mono here. This is one of my favorite characters in the digital game right now. The smart talking robot girl. Love her. Huge Mono fan here. But she has, according to the little guide that comes with it, the very little I know about her deck, this appears to be part Spellchain. You guys may know that I am a Spellchain enjoyer. Ringcraft's probably my main craft, and I like to do the Spellchain variant, so if it actually is partially Spellchain for this non-spell deck, I'm gonna be a happy boy. Of course, we got our beautiful Mono leader here. I'm gonna try the app again. I know in the previous video I didn't want to scam because I think it's just the consistency of this being a normal size card as opposed to the thicker boys that they usually have, but I'm curious. I was gonna double check it real quick, mainly because I really want the Mono leader to be a freaking leader card. Yes, pray that. Bushiroad Side Games. This is my one major complaint about this whole deck set. I was really hoping to get 4 cool new leaders that I could use in my decks. I mean, I guess I can. I just won't get cool voice lines in there and really want the Mono one, but it's still cool. Still a nice little leader. Alright, let's take a look at the deck itself. Just go part of the Evos real quick. Ooh, I can already tell that we got servers in here because I see the Maybe tokens in there, Coco. Ooh, we get 2 of each. Answer it. Nice. Shout out to a future deck that I'm going to be covering here on the channel. I'm promising Snake Week. This is part of Snake Week. Got ready to go right here with my actual dark leader. So if you guys are excited to see the Medusa deck, make sure to leave a like on this video, stay subscribed, they'll be coming soon. Alright, I guess while they're out, we'll just go ahead and go over the tokens real quick. The Serpent here has Bane, which is Death Touch. You just ram it in something, automatically kill it. And the Mimi and Cocos are for Cerberus. This is going to give something 2 damage, and this gives something a 2 attack buff, so the doggies are good. And I'm really happy that there's apparently Cerberus in here, because that's one thing that I never had as a dark. I know words. Starting off with, probably Gloryfinder card. I mean, I guess there's multiple after this, like the main guy. We got Mildred the Dark Fiend, who is a 3-drop, 3/5, already right there, some great stats. Who has a somewhat familiar evolve condition to me. It's evolve for 1, however, you cannot evolve this unless you have 2 or less cards in hand. Just like a certain Swordcraft follower that I like to play. But his fanfare is each of your opponents with 7 or less cards discards down to 3 cards. Nice! There are Abyss decks that do handle a bunch of discard stuff, so this would be great here for the whole fact that Gloryfinder cards are unfortunately restricted to only being Gloryfinder decks. Sucks to suck. So happens when he evolves. So it just gains 2 more defense, goes from a 5/5 to 5/7, which has Storm and Strike, draw 2 cards, recover 3 play points. That is not bad ability at all. Obviously Storm is a quick attack, so you gotta turn 3 if you're able to rush out the gate. Oh, that's powerful. You're gonna find ways to beat up the cards to utilize this guy. But effectively it's a 3-drop, 5/7 with Storm, and whenever you swing, you're able to draw some cards and recover some play points, so it's making his 3 costs ultimately free. Pretty good Gloryfinder card, not gonna lie. Already enjoyed this deck. Next up is another evolving unit in Persona. Oh god, its name is Persona. I'm using the wrong map for this one. I should be using the one I use under my computer. So this furry here is an 8-drop 6/6 who, once again evolves for 1, has Bane, Death Touch, and the ability that once a turn, discard this card. Oh, discard this card, so it's a hand ability, I guess. Discard any number of cards when different classes draw that many cards. So this is really utilizes the fact that, of course, this is a multi-class format where you can just run anything as long as Gloryfinder card has to be the same class as your leader, as you guys may know. So there's what, 6 classes in the game? Hold on, 10 right here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the generic one. So in theory, you're able to drop 7 cards, draw 7 cards from this guy, including discarding him, I guess. Restrictions there, but that's a hand refresh, and I mean, you're gonna want to have a lot of cards in your drop zone in general in Abyss Vampire deck. So he evolves into this was 6/6 into a 7/7. On evolve, he is able to reveal cards from top of your deck until you reveal 2 different followers. Summon them, shuffle them, and put them all in the bottom of the deck. Seems kind of gimmicky compared to shuffle your deck in general, but Shadowverse has a weird stacking thing where like everything just goes to the bottom of the deck, especially for the mulligans. So unless you have a shuffle mechanic, you're probably never gonna see them. That said, I mean, you're drawing absolutely out the butt for this deck already, and you have a lot of recursion, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Either way, 7/7 with Bane, that just lets you automatically summon 2 cards. Pretty good. What would your Arcana be? I feel like it'd be Chariot, because all that drawing and summoning cards. Comment down below what your favorite persona is, and why Haru's best girl. Another evolving unit, this is a 6-drop spawn of the Abyss 5/6 stat line, evolves for 2, and at the end of your end phase, if your leader is correct, you give your leader +2 defense. Then draw a card, and each of your opponents discards a card, and buries a follower. Okay, that's a lot of words. So, obvious is obvious. I honestly feel like he might be the Gloryfinder, the main card for the deck, just because you want him to be out all the time. Basically, you're going to be able to draw the card, gain 2 life, and your opponent's going to both discard a card and kill one of their followers. That is a lot of good words that come out of one good effect. Especially for it being a 6-drop, that's relatively easy to get to. It evolves from a 5/6 into a 7/8. Then, feel like it'll have the same kind of effect. Start of your end phase, give your leader +4, draw 2 cards, your opponent discard 2. Okay, so he multiplies everything by 2. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be your main guy. Like, honestly, I know this was the one that's the first card that's revealed, that's probably the Gloryfinder, but I would already, without looking at anything else, make this your main guy. It gets rid of a lot of resources and just lets you do a lot of cool things. Moving on, we got our first amulet of the deck, and it is a 1-drop Orb of Desecration. At the start of your end phase, you bury a top card of your deck, so you just every turn build a card. Then for 2, you could sack it and select a follower in your cemetery and summon it. Actually, it only has 20 or more cards in cemetery. Okay, so mid to late game card, I guess, because you're not going to be able to activate until you have 20, which is a good number. I mean, you have a 50 card deck, so that's like 2/5 of it right there. However, don't forget what craft we're in. This thing excels in burying things in most normal decks. Not bad. This is another card that, like, I wish it didn't have the Gloryfinder thing on it, because this would definitely find home in some pretty good standard decks. We got our god for the deck. I think they each have a god. This one is Loki, who has Ward. He has a 6-drop for 6/6. And Fanfare during your next turn. All of your abilities trigger twice. All your Fanfare abilities. The Trickster God indeed tricks you by doubling up all of your Fanfare abilities. We've already seen a bunch of Fanfares, there'll be probably a bunch more. This is really good. During your next turn, so it's Fanfare during your next turn. So you play this, and then during your next turn, you're just gonna play a bunch of guys with Fanfare, I guess. Pretty good Loki. Honestly, Season 1 was a little better, but Season 2 is still fine. Merlin's in here. Oh, I love it. Oh, I already saw the next card here. It makes me happy. Merlin's in here. Stable in Spellboys. This is going to be like probably one of the best pickups for the deck, because it used to be like a $30 card, something like that. Not so much anymore in here, but you get her, and you get her Evolution. It's a card that lets you search your deck for any spell card at your hand, and evolves for 2 into this chick, who lets you cost 1 of your 3 or less spells for free. 3 for a 3/2 turns into a 4/3. It does evolve for 2, which kind of sucks, but it's fine, because, like, this is your tutor, and it lets you recast them. Fantastic reprint. Super happy it's in here. This is definitely one of the things that, like, you just pick up the deck to pick these up and hope it floods TCG player. Speaking of which, of course, if you guys want to help me afford to do more openings of product like this, or just show off more expensive card game stuff, make sure to check out my page on TCG Player, where I sell all sorts of card game things. It's the card I was happy about, that's automatically. Was this in the breakfast video? I don't think this is a breakfast video. There is a certain deck that I play right now that basically says you just dump a bunch of spells because he exists. So on Fanfare, oh god, it's Fanfare! Oh god, where's Loki? You double this. Oh my god, that's insane. Alright, so his Fanfare is basically just a global burn. How Spellchain works, it counts the number of your spells in your drop zone, then once you reach certain thresholds, you get certain abilities. All these abilities are going to be burn based, so once you're at 10, you deal 5, at 20 you deal 10, and at 30 you're able to deal 30 damage to everything. Now, first of all, oh my god, hold on. I just had a thought. It better be in here. Just gonna do this real quick so the camera doesn't see. It's not. A little sad it's not, but I did see a cool card that's a nice little reprint. Yeah, so the way he works normally is you just play this as an OTK card. It kind of sucks in standard format because you have to hit the ramp for 30, but there are cards, one that's unfortunately not in here, that lets you ultimately change all of your followers also into spells. So you could just play a bunch of followers as well and dump them in there, making his ramp a lot faster. Still, this is an OTK card. Starting life, I believe, is 30 for this format, so 30 is still going to be able to OTK them. And if that was a really good tempo card, I found success just trying to hit 20 and just ping for 10, ping for 10. Especially, we got this guy, so he doubles effect. So like, even at 20, you're able to just like, boop, next turn, boop, swing 30 to everything. It's a really good finisher. I'm sure this is not the only finisher in the deck, but really happy he's in here. This is one of my favorite cards, as not only a Runecraft player, but traditionally a burn player in most different games. Alright, we'll go from one dog to another. I just saw it in here. We got Cerberus. Here's our evolution. We already talked about tokens. Trying to remember exactly how you work without actually looking at the card. So it's the 4 cost for 3/3, but the important part is that on Fair you're able to get one of the 2 doggos in your EX area, your extra hand. At Necrocharge 10, you're able to get both instead. So Necrocharge is kind of like Spellchain. It counts just the number of cards in your drop zone, which is why I think, oh my goodness, if this is the actual deck, just count everything in your drop zone and do cool things. I am very happy that this is the mono deck. Oh, I might have to work this to make this a really good thing. Basically, just be able to get you 2 puppy dogs if you're at the right number. Then she evolves for 2 into that. We're able to once again take 2 of those dogs and put them in the EX area. Which explains why you have 4 of them, I guess, because you get 1/1, then 1/1. Moving from one token generator to another, here's your preview of the snake deck, I guess. So Medusa here, I don't know if they're going to have the other 2 Medusa friends, but once per turn you're going to have the 0 cost ability to generate a snake. So you just poop out one of these guys. And then she has a quick effect, which you can use on your opponent's turn as well. Rest her, sack 2 snakes and just kill a thing. So you're either going to be using her to amass an army of these Death Touch boys to just ram into everything and auto-kill stuff, or she just take a nice little nap during their turn and kill off a big threat. Really good card. I can't wait to explain this deck in detail, but for now just know that Medusa is very good Snake Girl, and we do appreciate the Snake Girl. Frosted Fire's in here. Alright, let me find the friends real quick, because this is a combo card. This is something that has been around since set 1, I believe. I've just never bothered with it or bothered explaining it. I'm getting such a preview of the deck by doing this. There they are. There's the Wonder Twins. Basically, this is a combo card in that it's a 10 drop with some cool abilities, but you get to this 10 drop a lot faster by having Frost and Flame. I believe Flame's the one that does it? Yeah, Harness Glass is just a draw card, put a card from your hand and bottom deck. It's a really good cycler. Flame, I believe. 3/2. It's cool that also has a 3/2 and a 2/3. So 1 cost, bury this, and glass, search for Frosted Flame and call it. So you have to have these 2 out, and then use her ability, sack them off, get the big girl out. Which is insane that you're basically saying, this is a turn 4 play, I assume, because they each cost 3. Turn 4 you have a 10 drop, 7/7 follower with a cool ability. That cool ability is, of course, Storm, so quick attack. This is going to go in the Storm deck. I'm just cooking the Storm deck as we go. But on strike, she's able to deal 3 damage to each enemy follower on the field, so nice little damage there while you're swinging 7 at their face. However, if you got the girls in there, which you should because you're summoning the right way, that instead turns it into a 7. So 7, I don't know if you've seen some of these stats so far, but 7 is able to wipe out pretty much anything in the game short of a boss monster. This is a field nuke on a stick while swinging for 7 with Storm. Really, really good combo. It's really situational, but I mean, you get the combo in here, so like if you hit it, you hit it. And if not, that's free Frosted Flame. This is going. Ooh, this could go in the Dragon deck. And freaking Jabberwock. If you guys want to see a really cool deck profile, make sure to check that out. I built Jabberwock for about $20, I believe, 20, 25, somewhere in that range. Budget, good deck. Not a budget card. I mean, I guess she's budget now because common-ish reprint. We have Erastfail. This is the cover card of one of the latest sets. Wait, still in the box. Haha. This is the cover card of Cosmic Mythos. So choose 8-drop, 8/8 generic, 1 cost evolve. On Fanfare, you're able to give yourself +4 health back, and then strike, you deal 3 damage to each enemy follower on the field. So it's kind of similar to that, which is good because that gives you 2 cards that have relatively the same ability now in a 1-of format. So when she evolves, she goes from 8/8 straight up to a 10-10. Speaking of big cards, strike, deal 5 damage to each follower. So once again, there's like a mini blast, but I guess one that's a little easier to get to. Questionably easier, the combo. I don't know, it's weird comparing these two cards, but they're effectively two copies of the same card, which is really, really cool. And also, the art's fantastic on this. We love the frickin' band members here on this. I'm a Leonor player in Vanguard. We believe in the band. Moving on, we got another evolving unit. This is a Snake card, I believe? Oh, that's new, actually. 5 drop, 4/4, Emeralda, the Demonic Officer. She has an evolve for 1, of course, Storm, and then Fanfare. You can select enemy follower. It costs 5 or less. Destroy it, and bury the top 2 cards of your deck. So she comes out of the gate swinging, and when she does, she's able to nuke a decent amount of the field while letting you set up your win condition for a Chimera. What she evolves into? She evolves into this. A 5/5 Storm, Drain. Oh, she has Drain now. She didn't have Drain before. Drain is the most vampire ability you can think of. You deal damage, and you gain that much life back. Then, of course, Strike, middle the top 2 cards of your deck. So, on evolving, she gains the ability of basically gaining health back, and just now it's on attack berry too. Pretty good attacker for the deck considering the fact that you want to bury a bunch of stuff. Next up is the Gloryfinder card. She's a 1 cost, 1/2 decent stats right there. Fanfare, select an enemy follower on the field and deal 2 damage. Awesome. Just nukes the thing on a stick. I mean, her being a 1 cost for that effect is interesting, because typically 1 cost that's like your turn 1 plays, but this could also be just like when you have a couple of floating mana, your opponent has some that's weak, boop, ping it to death. And she has another ability, of course, the Necrocharge ability, which, once again, Spellchain and Necrocharge actually surprisingly go pretty well in hand with each other. So, at 10, you deal 5 damage. Oh, actually, I lied. This is all the same. This is literally Spellchain. I'm reading Necrocharge's Spellchain effect. Alright, so, Necrocharge 10 and 20 are your thresholds. So, Fanfare, you're able to deal 2 damage or something. Necrocharge, that turns into 5 damage or something. And then at 20, you're also able to deal 3 damage to their leader. Yeah, forget what I said about playing this turn 1. This is a mid-late game card. Effectively, you want to hit this at 20 once you're already moving and grooving. Nuke something and deal 3 to the leader while being 1/2. Okay. We've had that. I love this deck so far. We have Demonic Storm, which is yet another glory card. This is a spell. This is the first spell that we've seen, I think. Select a demon follower in your cemetery and deal damage from its cost equal to follower on the field. Necrocharge 20, summon it. Interesting. Have we seen any demons yet? I don't know if any of these are demons. Oh, they are. Demon, angel, demon. Forget I said anything. A lot of these are demons, and there'll probably be a bunch of demons in the future. So, you're able to... Is it equal to attack? Yeah. So say we have, I'm just going to pick our random demon in here. Say we have our Swampy Boy in your graveyard because they killed him at some point. You play this, you're able to deal 5 damage or something, and then if you're at the Necrocharge 20, you can actually summon him back. So there's a revival card right there. You have multiple uses out of all you guys, and it's a 5-cost spell. That's what you do with that turn. Be a lot better if it's quick because they can use on attack, but I mean, obviously you're not just going to win games off a quick effect. That's quick effect though. Bury 5 cards, top of your deck, draw a card. Okay. I mean, that's fine. You want to bury a bunch of stuff, and this is a spell. Then we got another spell. This is a 1-cost quick. Select enemy follower on the field that's battled your leader. You may change its attack to another... Oh, hold on. Let me read this personally. Stupid! This is great in the multiplayer format. Basically, it takes the attack directed your leader at you and directs it to another leader. So you can finish someone off with this, or if you don't want to make friends, just be like, oh, hi, player number 3. I'm glad I'm being attacked. JK, you are. That's funny. The 1-drop quick spell makes it so you can play it at almost any time. Alright, next up, we're seeing a card that I saw in a previous deck, which makes me wonder if there's going to be a couple of these that you see everywhere. That is Athena, the goddess, who basically soaks up a bunch of damage because anything going at your leader is going to be directed right back at her. Then when she dies, you're able to ping something for 3. After that, we got a dice roll card here, which is a lot more of an actual dice roll card than the previous one in the previous deck. We got Hellbeamdy, the musical demon fox. Oh, that's super cute. 5 for 5/5 at the end of each player's turn main phase. Oh god, each player. This is insane automatically. It's for each player in your 4-player format, so this procs like 4 times a turn basically. That player gets to roll 6-sided dice, and on 1, 2, or 3, they may gain 1 life and draw a card. If they roll a 4, 5, or 6, give your leader +1 and draw a card. So there's a half and half chance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either way, someone's going to be gaining life and drawing a card. Hopefully it's you. This is really cute. I love it. Spellchain. This is a 3-drop, 3/3 that Fanfare lets you look at your top 4 and stack them pretty much however. So you get one to hand, one goes top of deck, one goes bottom deck, and one gets buried. Really good for setting up all your combos. Obviously, this is like scribe to the max. Then on strike, you can also check your top card and bury it if you want to. Helps out your spell chain a lot. 3-drop for 3/3 is pretty good stat line, and like I said, this just sets you up. Really solid card. Not sure how many of these are run standard anymore. I float around so much between like 1 or 2 of them. But in a best 1 format. Another spell. I've never been a fan of this one, but I mean, a lot of people will tell me to run it, and those people are wrong. Rhyme Winds. 2-drop quick spell. Has normal effect, and you can decrease that spell chain. So, the good part about it is it takes any unevolved unit and puts it back into the owner's hand. And that spell chain, it puts them top of deck instead. Top of deck is great because it slows them down a turn, effectively them having to reset one of the units. However, not a fan of it being only unevolved, because the whole name of this game is Shadowverse. Evolve. Their whole gimmick is evolving your units. Still a good spell. I mean, it's good control. I'm just not personally a fan of it. What I am a fan of, and a lot of people are a fan of, that's just Dragon Oracle, ladies and gentlemen. The spell that lets you ramp your mana or draw a card if you're somehow maxed out. No said, just open this to your happy camper. Ooh, we get both Medusas. Awesome. Normal Medusa. This is the 6 cost 6/6. Oh, she is the devil. Literally the devil, 6/6. Has Bane, Death Touch. Then you could rest it, select an enemy follower, and sack it. So, kind of like the Snake Medusa, just not snakes. She's just rest herself. That said, you know how I said she's a 6 cost? I lied. She's effectively a 4-drop once you hit your things. Costs 1 less if you're at Sanguine, which is when you punch yourself in the face, and another 1 less if you're at Necrocharge 10. So, effectively, if you're able to deal yourself damage that turn and happen to have some cards in your graveyard. This is a 4 cost for 6/6, but has a pretty decent ability. Another pretty decent ability is this guy who... oh, this is actually hilarious in this format, I just realized. So remember, we're just gonna ignore this part. He doesn't really have normal effects, he's just here for his evolution. But remember how I said that in Gloryfinder, everyone starts at 30 life? When you evolve him, change each enemy's defense to 10. That's all I need to say. This is FU button. 7/7 that just... everyone goes to 10 life suddenly. Also, he has Death Touch, I guess. His normal Necrocharge 10 costs 3 less to pass, so it's a 4-drop. If you're at your thing, then he evolves with a 1 cost, has Bane, and Fanfare each your opponent discards a can. So, play him for potentially 4. If you could potentially get turn 4 with this side, going anywhere but first, so you do have evolution points. You essentially say, turn 4, each opponent discards a card, pay your evolution point. Everyone has 10 life. Have fun. This is the enemy maker button in this format. Moving on to another pretty decent follower for the Shadowverse of the Shadows. It's a 5-drop, 6/4 Black Swan Odell, who on Fanfare is able to deal 2 damage to both their leader and a follower. And then if you have to be at Necrocharge 21 happens, she also gets Storm. Then, that Storm comes to play for her strike effect, because you're able to deal 2 damage to each enemy leader and enemy follower, which is insane in a multi-person format. So she's going to come out, pick a target, beep boop, maybe get Storm, and when she attacks, everything get beep boop. Pretty good girl. Moving back to a couple evolving units, we have Zoe, the Princess of Goldenia, who I've never really been a fan of, but I've also never really given her a shot. 4-drop, 3/3, evolves for 1. Fanfare, you're able to deal 2 damage to your leader, bury 2 top cards of your deck, and draw a card. Okay, I guess in a deck where you want to potentially do yourself damage and bury a bunch of cards, this isn't bad. When she evolves, the 3/3 becomes a 4/4, and then you can select an enemy follower on the field and banish it. Gives you banish control in this deck. That's typically a thing for this class, little wingy heavens. Not a bad. I guess this is one of the things where like I don't really favorite too much in the normal format, but when we get to the one of the format where you can run anything, actually pretty freaking good. What's pretty good in any format though? Ding dong, ding dong. Another reason to get this deck, just for a freaking Bellringer. This is your classic turn 1 play, 1-drop, 0/2 ward. If you happen to kill her, you get to draw a card. Then it evolves and you can just ping some for 2. Solid, solid, solid. Y'all already know about Bellringer. I don't need to explain her to anybody. What I might need to explain though is this girl, because she only goes in Swordcraft. Actually, I'm kind of happy. I'm not sure if I picked up my full set of these. 1 cost 2 for evolve, no real things there. When she does evolve, she becomes a 2/2 and is able to search for your deck for anything that has the evolution ability. Which, once again, in this format where you can run anything, is actually kind of nutty, because you can basically tutor any card in the deck. He's here! The Shadow Mage. This is so much fun in Spellchain decks. So the 5 cost is a little expensive because you want to be just slinging cards left and right. However, Fanfare, you're able to bury your top 4 cards in your deck, and for each of those that's a spell, you get 1 of your play points back. So effectively, if you do hit up to your 4 cards potentially, This is, well, a 1-cost card because it's 1/4, get the 4 back. On top of that, he also has the ability where you could rest him, discard a spell from your hand, and deal something 4 damage. So pretty freaking good inclusion here. This is a spell card. Ernest Liu. Freshman Liu. How did I read freshman as Ernest upside down? Whatever. 2-drop, 1/2s. Fanfare, search for a 1-cost spell at the hand, and then shuffle. You can be saying 1 cost in here, I guess. For example, the next card we're going to talk about, Insight, just 1 cost, draw a card quick. Classic draw card tutor. Of course, plenty of other 1-cost spells that you can play with it, so it's not bad, I guess. Oh, this is fun here. We have Fate's Hand, which is another draw spell. This one costing 3, and when you draw 2 cards, however, on Spellchain, you're able to get one of those costs back, thus making it basically 2 costs, draw 2. Talking about some new cards, we actually have, I'm very happy that this came in the deck, because I've only been able to open 1 box so far for the set. Click the link to see the opening, and this is one of the cards that I definitely would want to run as a Rune player. So here's another one. We got Truth Education, which is a 3-cost spell. It's a nice card list. You gain one of 3 different abilities. Then if you happen to have multiple mage cards on the field, you get at least 2 instead. What are those 2 abilities? First of all, draw 2 cards, nice and simple. Second, deal 3 damage to each enemy leader. Also really good in this kind of format. Once again, I love burn cards. And 3, select an enemy follower and deal 3 damage. That's not maybe as good. I would just use this for the first 2, but I mean, if you need to pop a card, there you go. Solid, solid, solid. I love this card so much. Wish it was quick, it'd be so much better. So I heard you like Shenlong, so we'll give you some Shenlongs. This Shenlong, it's the thing where you draw 2, discard 1, and then you evolve and you gain 5 life, and it's really, really good and hit the ban list at one point in time. Also, it's got Ward, I guess. I don't know if we mentioned that, but Ward's a good ability. Looks like our next couple cards are some revival texts. We got Hell's Unleasher, it's a 2-drop 2/2 that says you can rest it, bury it, choose a summon that's 3 or more in your drop zone, and add back to your hand. It just cycles. It just cycles graveyard. So is this one in a funny way. This is a 6-cost Death's Breath. Since you select a follower that costs 8 or less in your cemetery, call it and give it ward. So you can revive basically anything that's short of a 9 or 10 cost boss monster, and give it the ability that you have to attack it before they attack you. Found another 1 spell. I found a couple 1 spells actually. Let's talk about this one real quick. Soul Conversion. It's like one of the classic Abyss Craft cards. Just kill one of you guys quick, draw 2 cards. This is really good in combo with a bunch of your things that like being retired. I guess it's also really good to buff up Necrocharge, and if she wasn't there, it'd be really, really nice for Dario. My beloved Dario. And I'd be so happy if this deck had Dario, but I don't see it in the evolution pile. Another 1 cost. Dark Offering. Destroy one of you guys, give yourself 3 and draw a card. This is an interesting disruption card. It kind of sucks because you're destroying one of your own guys in response to attack. However, it does clear off the field in case your opponent is trying to do some wacky shenanigans to it. You gain some life and draw a card, which is always good. And once again, in this deck, you like have Graveyard. Let's give you more Graveyard. You guys like drawing cards? This lets you draw a card. And if you discard, you can draw another card. Boop! Next up, we got the Call of Cocytus, which is a card I've never really talked about here on the channel. I kind of want to run it in a deck I'm working on right now. It's a 6-cost quick, which is kind of expensive for a quick spell. However, it has a decent ability, in that you can select an enemy you follow in the field, destroy it, and search your deck for a colorless follower. You'll be able to add to your hand and shuffle deck. This is, once again, one of those cards like only as good as the deck you played in. Obviously, to fully utilize this, you do want to play some classless stuff, but, I mean, even if not, just nuke. 6 costs expensive, but nuke. Penguin Wizard. I'm going to talk about these 2 at the same time. They're effectively the same card. So both these say they're able to somehow draw a card and discard a card. This by discarding a spell and drawing a card, and this by on fanfare draw a card, discard a card. Then both of them also evolve into that and that, which once again let you kind of do the same thing. This refreshes itself so you can again discard a spell card and draw a card, and this once again draw a card and discard a card. Classic Spellchain Evolvers. And this one's a Penguin Wizard. Moving on to our final tiny stack of cards right here. We're going to start things off with the Wind Blast, which is another Spellchain spell. So 1 cost, select an enemy follower, deal it 2 damage. Spellchain 10, deal it 4 instead. I want to say mid, but this is like a non-quick version of something that Dragon likes to do anyways, so good card. I wonder if that Dragon card's in here. Let me check real quick. No, I don't see it. We got put spells in your drop zone 101. It's a quick play for 2 that says that you check your top 4. Add 1 spell to your hand, no one loses your drop zone. Maybe if you're doing nothing turn 2, then you just filtered 4 cards while I was saying if you win condition. This one I kind of like, but it's a little expensive. It's a 4-cost quick spade. We're just going into Spellchain territory. Awesome. Fiery Embrace. This is a burn card. So you select your opponent's follower, destroy it, and the Spellchain 10 also deals 3 damage to your opponent. Enough said. 4 costs a little expensive, but it's a quick play spell. Nuke a thing, deals some damage to board. Witch Bolt. This is the best friend of a card we talked about at the very beginning, Merlin. Because, as you guys may remember, when she evolves, she plays a 3-cost spell for free. That's a 3-cost spell. It's effectively just a deal 5 damage or something. That's an evolved unit on your side of the field and you draw a card. That's an evolved unit when you play it. Like I said, they're best friends. Otherwise, it's 3 costs, deal 5 damage or something. Not bad. We got this boy that lets you bury some stuff, I believe. Yeah, it's 2 costs, 2/3, bury your top 2 cards of your deck. Mill. This is also a mill guy, I believe. 6 costs, 6/6. Another devil. There's 2 devils in this deck. Select 2 followers on your... Oh, I lied. You select up to 2 followers in your graveyard and add back to your hand on paper. So, this is a res thing. This is not directly res, you don't call them to field, but recycle your things. Which is always good in one of the format where you typically only play cards once. Final 2 cards. Let me read this one first because I think it was in the other deck. Undying Resentment. 2 costs, select the enemy follower on the field, deal it 3, mill 2. It was a little better in here than it did in the Havencraft deck, but yeah. Mill 2. It's a spell that mills 2. I don't need to say anything. I'm now going over... Yes. This is absolutely just a Spellchain deck. Oh my god. Necrocharge Spellchain. I never knew I'd be so much in love with it. Final card of the deck is this boon, Chimera. 3 costs 1/1, which kind of sucks stat-wise. However, he has a fanfare to bury your top 3 cards. And the Necrocharge, you're able to give this thing Rush and Bane. So just quick attack, Death Touch. That's the out of the gate. These, not the coolest way to end the deck, so I'm just going to go over this wide outro. This is very interesting. I mean, I want to play a deck anyways because it's the leader. I'm going to run this in any of my best decks anyways, even if it doesn't scan into the freaking like an athlete. The fact that it essentially combines the normal aspect of Necrocharge, the have stuff and drop zone, do good stuff, with my version of Necrocharge, have spells and drop zone good stuff. It's insane. You want to get cards in here, like the Bellringer, Merlin, like, she's right there. Am I just showing you cards? There's a good card. This was freaking expensive for a while. I don't know if it's dropping. That was like a $7 card average and all that. As well as plenty of new toys. Like, the Gloryfinder card in here is really cool. Just the fact that it does more than it does more. Spell Chimera. Low-key my Chimera. End of story. So that was deck number 2. We have 2 more to go. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but if you've watched my other video, you do know what they are. Come back next week to see which one we go over next, as we're doing this throughout the month. And if you want to see more Shadowverse appear on the channel, make sure to leave lots of little comments and likes. Let me know that you enjoy this kind of card fight content outside of the normal game that I play. I like this one too a lot. Like, Shadowverse is easily my second favorite game. People play Shadowverse. But until next time, thank you guys for watching. Mono Best Girl, and always embrace the infinite. I'm just gonna zoom on Mono. Just gonna zoom on Mono as I end the video. Freaking love Gear Chronicle, poet, fast talking, robot girl.